Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. And with me today is Seth Geis and John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Good evening.
Doing well, man. Doing well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
Looks
So
cold where you are,
today,
man.
there's snow on the
Nah,
ground, of course.
it's
Is that
well.
snow?
There was like 2 feet of snow all last week, which is the most amount of snow we've had in 110 years. But it
Ever?
warmed up like yeah, dude, it was crazy. But it's warmed up like 30 degrees. So I was out on the deck smoking today, and it was good. It's a little windy tonight.
So speaking of warming up, we are talking about the Recluse Amadeus Los Cabos Toro. I know that John wished he was in Los Cabos right now.
Yeah, I do.
Uh, the cigar is Toro 6 1/4 by 50. Comes out of the Tabacalera Leyendas Cubanas factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Mexican San Andres Maduro. The binder is Sumatra, and the filler is from Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. It is blended by J.R. Dominguez, and price point is $8.50. Cigar was released in August of 2018. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your smoking experience like?
Yeah, man. It's a nice looking Toro. Good wrapper coloring. You can really pick up that San Andreas quality. First third opens up showing some, milk chocolate, hazelnuts, sweet spices, some toast, little touches of red pepper here and there. Really enjoyable. Medium full for strength and body. Nice flavors. I didn't think it was too overpowering. It's just kind of simple and enjoyable. Um, then when I get into the second third, it's the flavors are a little bit on the rise. It's a little bit more spicier. I'm getting some cinnamon and red pepper and some Asian spice qualities. It still has some milk chocolate and like hazelnut qualities to it. They're just not as pronounced as they were in the first third. They're kind of taking on a different role. The flavor profile of the cigar, I'd say. Still smoking at that medium full level. Then when I get into the final third of the cigar, flavor profile just shows some transitioning. It's delivering a little bit of nice, it's showing more spice, red pepper. There's some dry earth and wood notes. The chocolate and hazelnut flavors aren't present as they were before. A little bit more toasty, and it's just still smoking at that medium full level. Keeping pretty consistent in that sense. How about you, John?
Yeah, man. I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but it's kind of a funky looking cigar because it's like it's wafer thin, like it's super
Yeah,
wafery box press.
right.
I mean, he likes to do that, and it's cool, and I dig it. But definitely right off the hopper, I mean, this was medium full in body, like from the very first puff, just tons of powdered cocoa, baking spices, cedar, a little bit of white pepper, and the white pepper kind of had some intensity to it. Had some almost like post draw chili pepper kind of intensity to it, and then it kind of fell off, and the cocoa just continued to build from where it started, which was crazy because I've had a lot of San Andres cigars, but this is probably the most chocolatey San Andres I've had in a long time. Then at the halfway point, it became more of that creamy chocolate flavor, and then the creaminess kind of carried into the post draw with the cedar. So really enjoyed the first third, and then in the middle third, the cedar kind of fought back. So the cedar kind of starts to take over from the chocolate, and chocolate starts to come back down. So they kind of flip because then the powdered cocoa starts to carry into the post draw, and the cedar is just dominant on the fore palate. And then the spices kind of came into the retrohale a little bit, but they're sort of fighting really hard with that cedar and cocoa to be very noticeable. Then at the sort of down half of the second third, the cedar kind of took on this charred character, which went away eventually. And then the last third, there's some vanilla, which is cool because I haven't gotten a lot of vanilla out of cigars in a while. So it's creamy cocoa, vanilla, really enjoyable. A little bit of char that came in and then left again. And then that creaminess evolved into sweet syrupy. So just really rock solid first, middle, and last third, which is nice to see. It wasn't peaks and valleys throughout the smoking experience, and it was still different between each third to be enjoyable. In terms of burning construction, I rated it good. I had a lot of ash flakiness in the first third, like substantially. Like the ash was just flaking all over me, and then had to do a touch up, and then basically once I got into the second third, it was a perfect draw all the way through with the ash holding on in an inch and a half increments. So I'm not sure what was going on in the first third. In terms of draw, it was just perfect, right amount of resistance on the draw. So yeah, enjoyed it. Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, lots of creamy wood, black pepper, and some floral notes. About a half inch in, some cream takes the lead, while the wood wasn't far behind. Black pepper and floral notes were making this really nice flavor combination in the background. A little further in, cream kind of fades back to become even with that black pepper. Wood's kind of up front. Floral note still remains in the background. Retrohale has the wood and the pepper even with a slight floral finish to it. About an inch and a half in, cream increases once again to become even with the wood up front. Black pepper has a long mellow finish to it. Strength is just kind of slightly below the medium mark. Getting in the second third, creamy woods up front. Floral note hits kind of right about mid-draw. Black pepper fairly faint in the background, still kind of a long, subtle finish to it. A little further in, the creamy wood remains up front. Floral notes very faint, and the black pepper completely left the profile. About an inch in, some coffee joins in, the creamy wood and the faint floral note. And then a little further in, some char joins in with that creamy wood, while the coffee and the faint floral note remain there. And strength bumped up to right at the medium mark. Getting in the final third, char picks up a little bit with the wood, and cream kind of moves slightly behind that. Coffee and floral notes in the background. About half inch in, some muskiness and bitterness kind of join that charred wood. Cream still slightly behind that. Coffee leaves the profile, and the floral note really only detectable on the finish. Retrohale is kind of a musty wood note to it. And then a little further in, the bitterness, cream, floral notes all gone away. Charred and musty wood is really what's remaining in the cigar. And then a little bit of cream kind of returns as the cigar wraps up, and strength remains at that medium mark. In regards to construction, burn is a little bit wavy at times, straight at others. Ash held on an inch and a half increments, so that was pretty good. In regards to the draw, it was a little bit tighter than I prefer, but it didn't cause any issues with the smoking experience. So Seth, what were your overall thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was kind of a decent cigar. The flavors were enjoyable, but nothing really like wowed me. I think it lacked some components to really make it stand out. Because of that, I just, while it's a good, it's a good San Andreas, it offers some good San Andreas qualities. I just don't see it, really being a cigar that people are going to go gravitate towards, because there's a lot of other San Andreas offerings like this stick. So I think it may do well for the guys who are big in Recluse. But I don't think anyone's going to be like, ooh, San Andreas from Recluse. It's just not that type of cigar. So it's decent, good cigar, but nothing really wowing. John?
I'm going to take a different tact. I think so often with San Andreas, I see they like to kick it up with spice or add a bunch of flavors in there with the blend that really overwhelms the wrapper. And I think what he managed to do here was he let the wrapper kind of showcase the cigar. And that's nice, because I think San Andreas, when done right, can be really good. And yeah, it wasn't a showstopper in terms of complexity, but it was still consistently good all the way through. And like I said, that's sometimes a tough thing in the market, to find a cigar that's consistently good all the way through. Aaron?
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the floral note in the first third kind of combined with that wood, cream, and black pepper was really, really nice. Profile kind of dropped down in complexity through each third. Construction was really good. Didn't need any attention to it at all. I know not everyone likes kind of floral notes in their cigars. I do enjoy that, so that's going to kind of play into it. There's very few cigars where I get from the San Andreas, I can get those floral notes. I really like that when that happens. A lot of times it's kind of more of a cocoa and some darker flavors and things like that. But when they can present some of the lighter, more nuanced flavors, I really enjoy when I'm able to kind of pick those out. I mean, I have no problem going back to this cigar. It was really enjoyable. I like that floral note. If you like that kind of same profile that I described, and you have a similar palate to mine, then I'd say it'll definitely track some down. But I think if you're looking for, something that's more in, I guess, traditional San Andreas, that may not be here. This is a slightly different profile, I would kind of characterize it as. So getting to the scores, start at the top. John, you gave it a 6.97. I was right behind you at 6.92, and then Seth brought up the rear at 5.45. So, John, how did your number match up with your experience?
Woo! That's going to be one of the first cigars we've scored high and very similarly. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I think of when I think of a high six cigar, is that solid performer with great construction. Again, not necessarily the most complex cigar, but very consistent flavors. And I think, yeah, if you're a Recluse fan, you're going to love this cigar. If you're not a Recluse fan, hey, this might be a good cigar to introduce you to the other offerings. I mean, it's kind of a, training wheels for the rest of their offerings. I think the flavors are safe. They're not going to overwhelm you with spice or pepper or anything like that. So this is going to appeal to a lot of guys. Although it does have a little bit of strength to it, which sneaks up on you about halfway through. But it's not ball strong or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my score is real close to yours. I mean, I thought the first third was fantastic. It presents some unique flavors, and I think that is a big draw to a cigar. I mean, it kind of dropped down in complexity as the cigar went along, but overall, it was still a pretty good cigar. So, it scored well for me. So, Seth, 5.45. How do you think that matched up for you?
It matched up, but I'm really liking John's points though. I like what John's saying, actually. I see what he's saying, and I'm digging it, actually.
You got to be the Aaron in this review and make it, keep it real, keep it honest.
No, but you do make a good point that it really does show that Mexican wrapper profile, and it's one of these things that I see what you're saying there. I dig it.
To me, it's like Connecticut Shade, right? You see so often a Connecticut Shade, and then they just put like a shit ton of Lajero in there, and it's like, well, I can't take the taste of Connecticut anymore. And that's the thing with San Andreas is, like Loomis was saying, San Andreas has a particular flavor profile. It drives me crazy when it's like super earthy or super spicy, and it's like, well, then why'd you put a San Andreas wrapper on it? Because I can't taste the wrapper anymore, dog. And yeah, it's nice.
No, man, it's very good points. Yeah. It's very good points. Now I'm mulling it over. I'm still sticking to my score.
Keeping it honest, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels. You can catch all of our reviews on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Recluse!